Okay, Survivor tier list for Blackjack, let's go. Before I start this tier list, I just wanna say that everything is gonna be based on my own opinion, with each character. So let's start. First off, it's Lucky Guy. In my opinion, he's a pretty bad option, and some people might say, why he can have access to every single item. If he wants a gun, he can get a gun. If he wants a wand, he can get a wand. But that's the thing. He can wish. So if the game just says here's a needle, he's gonna get a needle. And after every single successful wish, he's gonna lose that item. So if he wishes for a flare gun the first game, he cannot get a flare gun the next other games. Same as the wand or anything else. And he also doesn't have any other external traits like how Mercenary has a vaulting speed bonus, or forward puts down pallets faster. He doesn't have anything. Okay, now Thief. Thief, it's a pretty good choice in my opinion. Like, if the hunter is a fast teleporter like Opera Singer or Jason, he might have a little bit of trouble, but other than that, he's pretty solid. Being able to just flash the hunter and he can transition to every part of the map. Okay, next is gonna be Lawyer. Lawyer is gonna be a pretty bad option. Apart from his ability to see hunters through walls and the ability to decode a little bit faster, he doesn't have anything to self-defend himself. So yeah, he's pretty bad. Next is Doctor. Yeah, he, she's gonna be the worst pick you can get. She has no decoding, she has no kiting, and her item is basically useless. There's nothing else to say. Gardener. Gardener is actually pretty good. The first 30 seconds of the game, you are basically immune to any hit, and even if the hunter hits your bubble, he won't get any chips. Uh, and then you can like take your bubble back after a while, and that while you can just vault pallets and windows to get the speed boost and transition rate. You can also do a little bit of pallet spam to get the bubble back in time, so I feel like that's pretty good. Next is Magician. Magician is gonna be the best of the best. Like, he can decode a little bit. He can decode because he has no debuffs. He got two wands which are really good in chase, since most of the hunters you're gonna meet are single hit hunters. And his mind games are also very helpful to help you as the hunter. Next is gonna be Explorer. In my opinion, Explorer is a little bit better than Lawyer. And here's the thing, he can decode the same speed as everyone here, but uh, he can also play a strategy that no one else can play, which is basically just hiding strat. The game, at the start of the game, you just hide the whole game, and that's all. You don't encode, you don't get chased, you just survive. It's not a really good strat in itself, but if you are lucky with your cards, it can work. But it won't even guarantee you a good place. Next is Mercenary. Mercenary has two elbow pads, but he decodes very slowly, which can really destroy him getting chips early game. But since he got two elbow pads, he can contain the hunter a lot of time in the mid, late, and early game. He's still not on the same level as Magician just because he struggles with decoding. Next we got Priestess. She gets like three portals the whole game. I'll say that's good, but then it's not. Because think about it. You get a portal, you place it, the hunter follows you, now what? You also get 10 vaulting speed debuff, if I'm right. Which basically kind of drags you down if you're not careful. I'll still say she's better than Tiffin Gardener though. Coordinator. Some people actually play her a lot just because she got a gun and think that they can transition way easily. But think about it. The gun stun is way shorter. The animation is like cut off midway just because of balance reasons. But hit with her new debuff, I feel like she's a very strong rogue hider, in my opinion. She can titrate a lot, which is very helpful. So I'll say she's a good choice. Not really the best, but a good choice. Next, we got Cowboy. Cowboy is decent, but a very high one, and let me tell you why. In, in, in early game and mid game, he can do a lot of stuff because there are many pallets that are still up. So he can transition very easily, no problem. Also, if the hunter has struggles with chasing a blackjack or something, can basically just get the blackjack on his arms and bring it to the hunter, which will basically guarantee that the blackjack is dead. But in the late game, where most of the pallets are gonna be used, you're gonna struggle a little bit with. That's why I really think he's not a good chase. Next, we got mechanic. I actually saw some people and how they play mechanic. They basically just put it the all down and then decode. And when they got down to don't solve field, they just decode with a doll. But this is a very bad stratagem because not just it can give the hunter a lot of chips if he finds the doll, but you are also pretty vulnerable. Just think about this. Your dollars get hit, it goes down, you don't have anything else. You decode, the hunter teleports you, now what? You're gonna go down because you're mechanic and cannot guide. It's the hard room. Next we got forward. And now I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh my god, forward is the best, forward is I don't know. But no. He's the slowest decoding survivor, which is gonna be make it very hard for him to get chips early game. And his ball isn't really good. Like, don't get me wrong. In a normal game like rank, it's very good for harassing, I think. But on blackjack, that thing melts away so fast. I don't think it even lasts 2 seconds. So that's why I think forward is decent just because of this. His item lasts 2 seconds and that's all. He got some vaulting and pallet pulling down speed bonus, which is really good, but other than that, he has nothing. Now we got Mind's Eye. It's the same story of mechanic. If you get the hunter teleport to you, you got nothing, you're gonna get them very easily. But I'm still gonna place her here because of that, right? You know when the hunter is gonna come to you, which can give you a little bit of time to just transition to a pallet, pull it down, and then just take out your way for at least some seconds to get some chips of the chase. That's all you can do. But if the hunter teleports to you and it's an opera singer or Jason, which teleport very fast, are basically gonna go down. No explanation required. They're basically dead. Next, we got Perfumer. In my opinion, Perfumer is a bad choice, but you could make it work out if the hunter is not really that smart. Basically, you can perfume, then hold W, and if the hunter comes after you, you can just go back. That's your whole kiting. Okay, next we got female dancer. Female dancer has just one music box, so I don't recommend using any boxes on decoding. What I recommend though is just play it like a explorer. Just get a very strong kiting area, place your music box at the beginning of the match, somewhere good where the hunter will waste a lot of time if they want to break it, and that's basically it. So for this reason, I'll just want to put her in decent. I mean, yes, I want to put her here. Next we got Sir. Sir got no owls at the start of the game, but if he looks at the hunter long enough, he's gonna get an owl, and the bar is gonna increase faster. So you are required to look at the hunter for at least amount of time. Which sounds pretty good, but considering most hunters are little just a hit and go run, if they see that they cannot get you fast, they are gonna teleport right away. I don't really see this a good option. It's still good in the late game where the hunter really needs to commit to you or else he's gonna lose, and you can do some row kiting enough to get a owl, but other than that, he's not good. He's better than a female dancer though. Okay, next we got Embalmer. He's pretty decent in late, early, and mid game, just because he can basically get another life every game. So I'll good put him in good choice right over here. Next we got Prospector. He can basically get 3 magnets the whole game, which I don't really consider that many, but then once again, if you are able to do some row kiting until you get another magnet, and then use it to create a lot of distance, and then row kite again, it's very good. So I'll have to put him around here. Okay, next we got Enchantress. Enchantress is gonna be the same as an rank Enchantress you're gonna see. She starts with 0 curses, and if she stays enough near the hunter, she's gonna get some. And in my opinion, she's really good if you know what you're doing and are able to pull if no enough distance from the hunter until you get your first curse. So I'll put her around here. Okay, next we got Wall Drink. And I know some people are gonna get upset over this, but it's really bad. I said it. Now some people are gonna say, well, Wilding is unchaseable. He got his board. He can take hits. He can do anything. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Let's say you teleport to a Wilding. He's gonna react like half a second, and he's gonna enter the animation of putting himself on the board. Until that animation is finished, will be already teleported to him. And then Wilding's gonna move as an ordinary survivor, which is gonna give you enough time to catch him. And since the board does not tank any hits, he's just gonna go down. And the board is gonna enter the 1 minute cooldown. Now, you might say, yeah, you can play like Explorer or a female dancer, but that just does not work. It's because if the hunter still goes to you, or teleports you, or gets to you very close, yeah, you may be able to get on the board, but then they are just gonna get teleport away, and you're gonna get yourself off the board. And considering that the Blackjack Wilding has the same cooldown board times as the rank Wilding, he's basically gonna suffer a lot in mid and late game. Okay, next we got Acrobat. Acrobat is really, really good. You get both a math ball and a fireball at the start of the game, and if you decode 150 of a cipher, you get an ice ball, which are really good both in early, mid, and late game. And other than that, he got no other debuff, so he can get chips in the mid game by decoding. He can get chips in the early game by decoding, and in the late game he can survive a, a lot of time to get himself the win. Okay, next we got first officer, which I'm still gonna put here. He's better than a mercenary, but not as better as an acrobat, because first officer only got one bucket patch, which seems enough, but let's be honest, if the hunter teleports you, you use your watch and then he's gonna teleport away, you got nothing else. So that's pretty sad. But it's still good for the mid and late game, where the hunter is usually forced to chase you. Okay, next we got Bearmaid. Bearmaid, instead of the 2 healing Dovlings and 1 speed Dovlin, she has 3 speed Dovlins, which in my opinion are really good for tide kiting or even transition kiting if the area is kind of close to you. So for this reason I'm gonna put her around here, because the Davlin itself don't give really that much distance to you just use one and get to the area you want. So you usually want to use like 2 Davlins to get to other area you want. Okay, next we got placement. Yeah, you cannot pay placement, sadly. Next we got Gravekeeper. Gravekeeper is really good by using his shovel, being able to tie kite or basically transfer kite if needed. And the shovel is gonna take a hit. And not sure if it gives chips to the hunter, but you're gonna stay alive. It's like a gardener bubble, but at command every time you want. And for this reason, I'm gonna put him here. He also has a decoding debuff, which isn't really that big, so there shouldn't be any problem for him to get any chips early game. Okay, next we got Prisoner. Prisoner can connect a cipher and then send decoding to the cipher to get a lot of chips early game, which is kind of strong in paper, but if the hunter teleports at you, you got nothing. Sure, maybe you could loop the area of your cipher where there's connection until the hunter gets stunned or decides to break the connection, and then you can transition to something nearby, and then you get stunned. But that's all, to be honest. So for this reason, I'm gonna put him in decent around here. Okay, next up is entomologist. In my opinion, entomologist is really good because you can use her bees any way you want. You can use them to tie kite, you can use them to stretch kite. They work very good in any way. Of course, the hunters need to hit them only once, and then your bees are gonna, half of them are gonna be gone. But this is a really good price in my opinion because you still got some bees and the hunter is gonna be forced most times to change target because just one hit is enough for you to transition away to something. So for this reason, I'm gonna put her here. She's really good. Okay, painter. He only got one board, and if he saw the hunter's face at some point, he can start drawing right away. Of course, now every hunter has their own personal face. So let's say first round it's a J-Sham and you get their face. Okay, good. From now on, every time the hunter is the same J-Sham, you can start painting right away. But if the second hunter is someone like a Bloody Queen, you gotta get their face first. So for this reason, I'm gonna put him right over. I'm gonna put him here because his speed boost for every time he puts a painting down is permanent. So by the end of, let's say, the first 4 rounds, you're gonna be at a permanent 4% speed boost, which could really help you a lot. Okay, next we got Batter. Batter is really good. So I'm gonna put him right over here. Now he can use two balls, that's all I got, two balls to contain as much as possible and then just use rampage mode to be able to vault and pull down pallets faster. His rampage mode also lasts very long, so he's a really good solo kiter. Uh, he has a 20 uh, decoding debuff, which can hurt him a little bit on decoding for chips early game, but he can really recompensate that by literally being unchaseable in the mid and late game. Next, we got Psychologist. Psychologist is gonna be just a little bit better than Doctor because she does not have any vaulting debuff. Next, we got Patient. Patient is also gonna be really good because he got two hooks which can help him transition very easily. And he got no debuffs or buffs for vaulting or decoding or anything. So he's basically just a lucky guy with two hooks that are really good. So for this reason, I'm putting him here. Next we got novelist, and you cannot play him either, sadly. Next we got little girl. Little girl, she's really bad. She doesn't have any kiting except her pages, which she gets like 3 the whole game. So for this reason, I'm gonna put her around here, around around here. The hunter is also able to just step back a little bit or just put himself or just put a wall behind him so that he does not get pushed a lot by the page. So basically little girl doesn't really get that much distance from a page. So this is why she's gonna be here. Toy Merchant. Toy Merchant is really good on hospital. Except and she also got one catapult to help her transition anytime she wants. So for this reason, I'm gonna put her higher than Priestess. Also, Toy Merchant can put down the catapult at Cypher, and even if the hunter can teleport very fast like Opera Singer or Jisha, she can basically just vault the catapult, then use the glider and transition to any part of the map she wants. So for this reason, I'm gonna put her here. Okay, now Whipping Clown. Whipping Clown got, in my opinion, the best transition items. She got He got two rackets, which can help him a lot. So for this reason, uh, I'm gonna put him here, since most hunters can still catch up to the rackets. But if you are a good whipping clown, you're gonna be able to transition yourself to a good place. Next, we got Professor, which, in my opinion, is not that good. I mean, in my opinion, he's better than a sir, but not really better than a prisoner. Uh, Even if he successfully uh, blocks an hunter attack, which is very unlikely, then he's gonna be stuck with no items for a very long time. So for this reason, I'm gonna put him here. Now, if you're really good at row kiting, yeah, sure, maybe he's gonna be around here, somewhere like this. But no, he's here in my opinion. He's here. Now, Antiquarian. Antiquarian is the nightmare of every single hunter, and even in Blackjack, she still remains the same. She got around 4 to 5 stuns, which is kind of a lot, in my opinion. So she's really good for someone that has no debuffs for decoding or vaulting too. So she's gonna be here. Okay, now we got Composer. Composer, in my opinion, is gonna be somewhere close with Prisoner. He can get chips by decoding a little bit faster than the other survivors in the early game. And if the hunter teleports to them, he can contain for a while with his notes, tuning stuff. But other than that, he got nothing after he used his tunings. Now for Journalist. In my opinion, journalist is around here because she's able to kite a lot in the mid and late, in the mid and early game, since there are a lot of good pallets still up. But after in the late game where there aren't a lot of pallets still up, she's gonna struggle a little bit on placing her little Orpheus. She could still use them to like transition away from from places with no pallets, but then it's still risky if you end up being in the open because you called your little Orpheus to a place with a pallet. And the hunter can still get around your little Orpheus when body blocking by simply just running past him, and if you don't or you are unable to get behind him, you're basically gonna get hit. But she's still a really good character for Blackjack. And this concludes the tier list. If you guys want a tier list for Hunters too, let me know, and I'll make one too. But for now, if you have any opinions on the characters, like saying Blackjack is actually very strong or better is really weak, then let me know in the comments with your opinions. I'll reply to them all. Now, bye everyone. See you guys in the next video.